Hello everyone, very good morning. I hope you people are doing fine. You people are doing well. Um, I hope you people are putting in efforts at studying and taking out time. Very good morning. And taking out time to improve your skills. So there's a small mistake in the banner. I only made a mistake, and my colleague who creates posters, she didn't see, she just made it, copied whatever I said. So it's not a fault, my fault. There's a spelling mistake in the title. There's an O missing when it comes to Virtuso. So VIRT. So Virtuso is also an expert. So this is also a bit of a vocabulary thing, that Virtuso is somebody who's an expert, who's a pro, who's a pro in something. She's not an amateur. He or she is in pro at odd one outs in 40 days or less. So if you're really looking to improve your performance, please join the group. Join the Telegram group, which is given in the description. You can also join my own Telegram group, which I can leave in the description once the class is over. And the point here is that I'm starting to roll out individual study plan, a mentorship program for all the candidates who fill in the required form. So that mentorship form has to be filled in. Once you will join my group, I will send you the this form which you can fill in. And already there are some 7-8 people who have joined the group, and we are planning of time 10 a.m. in morning and 2 p.m. in afternoon. That is a plan, so which will also give us a plenty of time to prepare well. And daily we'll be doing questions, daily we'll be doing parajumbles questions, daily odd one out. It's going to be an amazing activity, which I don't think you people might have ever done. And it's going to be live. We're going to solve questions, we're going to prepare questions. So I think in that way it's going to be this amazing turn of events. Please do join the group for and I think this, and I saw the energy. It was very nice yesterday, and there was so much of positivity in the entire scenario that I cannot tell about. And yeah, so so yeah, that is something which is extremely important. And please keep solving a couple of verbal ability questions every day, and keep tracking your errors, your mistakes. Okay. So my name is Anupam. I have more than 3,100 hours of CAT training under my belt. I've trained more than 3,500 students for CAT, and I have also developed a lot of verbal ability questions for GMAT. So total questions which I might have created must have been around close to 3,000 questions, and reviewed more than 10,000 questions of all the clients combined, not only GMAT basically. So GMAT is a council, is a organization which conducts GMAT and NMAT. So in that way, and this is how it is. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So this is how it is. And please to stay in touch, download and install Unacademy app. Go to Plus, go to CAT, and subscribe. You'll see these 5 options. So I think more than 12 months or more than 12 months makes sense to me, because since you are preparing, if you're aiming for 2021, then I think that examination will everything will get over only by after 18 months, because 2021, that means July 22 your classes will start somewhere in July, August. So you've got like more than 18, almost 20 to 22 months to go before. So I think anything more than so two years is a good time. And if you are aiming for this thing, your yeah, 2020, then 6 months or more than six months makes sense. The pricing is 18,900 for 24 months, and for 12 months it is 15,750. Use the code Saxena Live to get 10% discount. We have also got EMI options also available on 6, 12 and 24 month subscription. So this I think we discussed yesterday only. There is nothing much which I can talk about right now. I'll come to the questions part directly. We'll also do a bit of theory here and there. Since I made these questions fresh, they'll be in a little raw form. Sorry for that. So what I want to do with you today is that I want to basically discuss even if you're not able to find what are the pairs, you are doubtful of the pairs. See, the objective in odd one out is to not arrange the sentences. The objective of odd one out is to basically look for basically look for something which doesn't fit in, something which doesn't fit in with others in the entire the story or the theme, the purpose, like I always say. The primary purpose, the schema, the narrative set by the other lines, by the majority of the lines, doesn't match with this one line, and that is our odd one out. So we will today we'll just try to find that odd one out, that very line which doesn't fit in. Okay, so let's read. While some elements of both structures overlap, there's a major difference between them apart from their legal framework. So it's saying while some elements of both structures, which structure, overlap, there's a major difference between them apart from the legal framework. Both structures. Okay, let's see if this both structures somewhere connects. Okay, so probably we can also understand that by reading this first line, that if first line is part of the paragraph and it is not odd one out, then probably they are going to discuss, they will discuss in further lines, or they might have mentioned about, because they've said both structures, right? So this is very much possible that in the very line previous to it, two ideas or two possibilities or two structures or two were mentioned, and then this paragraph is about that. Because if 4 out of 2 lines are talking about some structure, 4 out of 2 lines are talking about two structures, two possibilities, all two ways in which something can be managed, right? Then probably this is what is the right answer. They say India-US ties are in the framework of partnership and not alliance. Okay, India-US partnership and US ties are in the framework of partnership and not alliance. Okay, so here we have got framework, and we have got partnership, and we have got alliance. Okay, and if you look at the tone, it's talking about that we are a partnership and not alliance, and it says probably, if one or two are which we think it is, one says while some elements of both structures overlap. Both structure means partnership and alliance. Okay, there's a major difference between them apart from the legal frameworks. So probably there's a connection. This connection between 2 and 1 will only fail if we see that there are some other two structures to which there were some other ideas mentioned to which this two structure will refer to. But right now it seems very fair that 2 and 1 are a pair and 2 and 1 are not odd one out. Then it says so we get to understand that this is about foreign policy. This is about foreign politics. This is about foreign relationship between two countries. Okay, and whether it is a partnership or whether it is an alliance. And there's some difference between these two structures, although some elements overlap, but there's a difference. It says 3 says alliances can also demand a much higher price than partnership. Also demand. That means this line is coming after another line which is mentioned something about some aspect of alliance, to which line number 3 is giving an additional information of. This is like saying besides. See, I have worked as an army officer besides being a national level boxer. So there's an additional element. So probably before this, that alliances also demand a higher price of partnership through the loss of autonomy if the ally is a bigger power. So they're saying that there is some downsides to all. There are some negatives to also this entire this sort of relationship which we have, whether it's partnership or alliance, or in case of alliance, there is some downsides. What? That there's a price, and the price is that the autonomy, the independence, that is, in a way, it is little affected if the ally is a bigger power. Next, it says that the former may not be based on opposition to an element, but the latter always is. The former may not be based on opposition to an element. So this is correct, right? See, partnership doesn't mean that there is a partnership. Here, the former, the latter. Right? Right? The former may not be based on opposition to an outside element. The latter almost always is. So Of course, we know that by a common sense understanding that partnership can be for energy, the partnership can be for trade, partnership it can be based on scientific exchange of scientific knowledge, it can be based on on culture exchange, film, cinema, theater, music, art, poetry. Partnership can be of any kind. But when we say alliance, so alliance when happens between two countries, generally there is an outside element. There is an we are aligning together. We are forming an alliance to counter a third foreign power. And then whatever is latter in and since they were talking the latter was referring to an alliance, the next in itself says the alliances also demand a much higher price than partnership. Right. So there's 1, 2, and 4, 3. This is 1, 2, 4, 3 connect. So we know that for sure that. So what is the primary purpose here? The primary purpose is to, simply put, to highlight the difference between two forms of foreign two forms of relationship and engagement between two foreign powers, one being partnership and other being alliance. That is all it is saying here, right? And it's very gelled up, because I've just picked up it from a leading newspaper's article. Fifth one, I sort of confused you here, but it looks very convincing here. To begin achieving reliably higher success rates with their alliances, countries need to shift their focus to 5 principles that complement the conventional advice. So they think to begin achieving reliably higher success rates with their alliances, countries need to shift their focus to 5 principles that complement the conventional advice. Which conventional advice they are referring to, we don't know. We were talking about India and US. They are talking about countries, general advice. Okay, what are these 5 principles? We don't know. Higher success rate, we don't know what they're talking about. Nothing was being discussed. We were just talking about the basic nature, very simple elementary nature. We're just discussing the the partnership and alliance at a very superficial level. It was at a very shallow level we are discussing. We're just taking ki acha, this is how they look like, this is how it works, right? That is how it is. So this is how it is. Okay, so you understood that fifth one, like I said, in terms of ideas, in terms of the primary purpose, in terms of the being at the periphery of what things are being seen, 5 is almost the odd one out here. Okay, so yeah, like we can come back here. We can say that the odd one also is the word. So yeah, even and also if we just read these 5 lines, we can understand that probably fifth one is the odd one out, because all one the language analysis is also different. Okay. Here it is just having in 1 2 3 into 2 1 4 3. It is having a very neutral tone, very elementary tone, very basic discussion is happening. The sentences are also very short. It's a more logically connected sort of a paragraph. Okay, the former, the latter, while some elements of both structures. So it's a very. But if you read fifth one, success rate of their alliances, countries need to shift their focus to 5 principles that complement the convention one. Which convention advice? What 5 principles? Which countries? Why are you talking about success rate when we are only discussing about just the difference between two structures here? And a little more about alliance, probably because somewhere the author is trying to also warn us from moving into an alliance with the US, because this happens, and whenever this is outside the topic of discussion on the syllabus, but this happens that whenever we try to move into a very strategic partnership with the US. In India, foreign policy makers, the foreign policy experts or defense experts, they always warn us. They warn us that, that the people who have formed partnership with the US, they have often been, there are always downsides to that partnership also. Because probably, like they say, that there is such a certain amount of if US being a bigger ally can sort of ask us to follow certain terms and conditions to basically give into certain demands. Let's read fifth one. Let's read the second one. Let's not look for the pairs. Let us just read it once and see, just by reading can you find odd one out without looking for pairs. Don't forget to read the questions. 4 of the 5 sentences, when ordered logically, from a coherent paragraph find the contextually out sentence. Most of them study in schools with good infrastructure, qualified teachers who also recognize the importance of marks in these exams, and most importantly, they have acquired the smart way of learning and writing. Talking about infrastructure, good teachers, and they have also acquired a smart way of learning and writing the examination. Probably they're talking about people who score well, right? It can be safely assumed that most high scorers are from families equipped with social and cultural capital, are highly motivated, and proactively supported in their studies. Now we get to know that they're talking about high scorers. The same thing they're talking about: good infrastructure, qualified teachers, family is equipped. But one thing which is certain is that an education system where all knowledge is quantified and subject to being memorized, evaluated, and ranked, these students know how to learn and present their answer. So same thing they're saying, that now they're talking about something different, that one thing is certain, that an education system where knowledge is quantified and subject to being memorized, evaluated and ranked, these students know how to learn and present their answers. Okay, we must ensure that an individual's so this is all connecting here, marks and infrastructure and teachers and support and that this they know how to smart way of to learn and present their answers. So this is also connecting to line number 1. So 1 to 3 are part of the same paragraph. This is very clear. 4 says that we must ensure that an individual's accomplishments don't exempt them from criticism. So 4th is saying that an individual's accomplishments don't exempt them from criticism. Did in any way author in these 3 lines try to criticize the students for getting good marks, or criticize the families which have the resources that are trying to provide for their kids? Right. So they are not being criticized in any manner. So we must ensure that an individual's accomplishments don't exempt them from criticism. We were talking about what? We were talking about that some kids, because of good infrastructure, good teachers, have acquired the smart way of learning and writing. Then you get to know that they are from good families. Then we get to know that there's a system where knowledge is quantified and it is memorized, it is evaluated and ranked. They know how to learn and present their answers. This is something. This is about the author is trying to do what? The purpose of these 1 to 3 is that to highlight that the high scorers, they have certain amount of advantage because of coming from certain kind of families, because of coming from certain kind of schools, and also they have mastered a certain skill of understanding and writing, learning and writing. 4 says that we should not exempt them from criticism. Now this is an entirely different narrative. This is something which is entirely different here. Right. 5 says debating over whether these students are academically brilliant or not is not important. So here, if you see, it says that debating whether students are brilliant or not is not important. So this is also part of the entire story. So just by reading, we understood that 4th one is something which is all, and we did not even read the 5th one. Just by reading the 4th one, we get to know that it is talking about a different idea. Let us try and put them in correct order. See, 1 says most of them. It 2 says it can be safely assumed that most high scorers. Right. So 2-1, there's a clear-cut connection. Right. Then they say they have acquired smart way of learning and writing. But one thing is certain. Now this will not come here. Fifth will come. Debating over whether these students are academically brilliant or not is not important. Brilliant or not is not important. This is what it's saying. Then it says, but one thing is certain. That in an education system where all knowledge is quantified, subject to being memorized, ranked, these students know how to learn and present their answers. So they are saying that. So the author is also saying that we are not discussing that whether they're important or not, whether they are brilliant or not brilliant. We are saying that they have learned the art of learning and presenting their answers. Whether they are actually brilliant or not, that is a different story. Okay, so this is the story. This is how it should be done. Let us try and analyze the question. Chalo. For example, if we mark the so if we marked 5 as odd one out, right? Because somebody can think also that sorry, 5-3. This is the answer, not 4-3. Okay. So if somebody said that 5 is odd one out mistakenly, then what has happened? There is a connection here also. These students. Referring to what? They have. Them also, in a way. So 1 was also connecting here to 5 in terms of grammar also, debating about whether these students. Also, the language is like that. Smart is within quotes. Learning and writing is within quote. So the author is somewhere trying to make his or point. The author is in some way trying to say this within the lines that they have acquired this way of smart way of learning and writing. And then it says in 5 that whether these students are academically brilliant. So if somebody marked 5, what they have done, we did not see a grammar based connection. Also, also if you see 5 and 3 there's also connection, because if we're talking about whether a person is academically brilliant or not, that is, so there was a idea based connection also we did not see an database connection. Also, if you remember, there is one more point. Mentioned here कि क्या है, okay, if you also look at from this standpoint here, that fourth one, so if somebody included somebody excluded fifth from being the somebody said that 5 is odd one out, then they included fourth one also, right, to be a part of the paragraph. Then only they thought ki okay, fifth one is on one out. Probably they took probably they understood that 2 1 4 3 is the right order. But what I'm saying is that fourth one is talking about something different. Fourth one is talking about that individuals is talking about. So we did not understand the purpose of the paragraph given. And what is the modification in preparation? Modification in preparation is for look for the idea-based connection. Understand the primary purpose. Okay. And look for grammar connection. Write primary purpose or central idea for all the text. Example, RCs and VA questions. Also make summary of the editorials you need. That is how it is. So let's do this. Okay, join me at 2 p.m. for RCs. Join the Telegram group. Okay, and yeah. Unacademy subscription will now refer to live classes. So Unacademy subscription, we get a lot of free classes also on the app, like live classes, get to interact with the educator, live polls and leaderboard, test series and analysis, and live doubt clearing sessions also, right? So please utilize this platform, and please work hard here. for next 30 40 days. So you will not, so the test series and analysis, and you get an opportunity to interact with the educator, you get live posts and leaderboard and live doubtless sessions. This is an extremely important point. So so this is how it is. Please use the code Saxena Live to get 10% discount. And if you've seen that the pricing is very amazing, and we will be helping you our postcat also for ZAD, NMAT, Snap, and other management. So postcat, there is ZAD, there is Snap, there is IFT, and there is NMAT. So we'll be helping you, and for your interviews also. So subscribe and use the code